Perfect. Good evening, Roehampton Club. This is Susanne with another 45 minutes Pilates class. You can see that over my shoulder, or next to me, I should say, you need a block, you need a pair of hand weights and a stretch band. The block can be substituted with a couple of cookbooks. The hand weights can be substituted with a couple of tins or a couple of bottles of water. And if you haven't got a stretch band, you can use a towel. Good, let's start. Make sure that if you're not feeling particularly well, that you take breaks. And also just make sure if a physio has told you not to do certain things, that you stay away from them and do whatever feels right. So listen to your bodies is what I want to say. Good. Right, stand nice and tall, shoulder rolls backwards, tummy pulls in, tail gently tucks between your legs. Shoulder rolls. Find the length in your spine. So really, really lift that breastbone up and just lengthen up towards the ceiling. From here, we're lifting the arms up. We're looking up to the ceiling. So make sure you move your chin and then down to the floor. Up to the ceiling and down to the floor. Good. Keep going. Up to the ceiling and down to the floor. Good, we're now going to lengthen the arm sideways and we are rotating. Again, moving the arm. Sorry, moving the head. Obviously can't tell my body parts today. Look to the back of the room. Make sure that you're pulling that tummy in. And with each one that you do, you increase the range of movement. Now be careful if you, for example, feel a little bit of a sore back today, a sore lower back, maybe perhaps you've done a little bit too much gardening or you played golf for too long, then allow the hips to move gently. So don't keep it too rigid if you're a little bit on the stiff side or on the sore side. You've got a couple more. You've got one more. Good, and then bring those arms to your side. Osteoporosis, you come forward with a straight back. Everybody else, you roll down with a curve in your spine. Take a deep breath in at the bottom. Exhale to come back to the top. And then stretch back into your back extension. Good. You want to open up the back line here. And so particularly the back of your legs, the lower back, the shoulders and the neck. And then as you come up, you want to open up the front line. So the more you lift your breastbone up, your chest up to the ceiling, the better. But make sure when you lean back that you don't press your hips forward. So keep the center of gravity backwards. So pull the hips back. Don't allow the hips to press forward. So come up. The heaviest bit of your body sits on your heels. The hips pull back. And you've got one more to go. One more, and that concludes our quick back warm-up before we move on. Back to the top. Inhale again, and then exhale to pull back. Good, arms to your side. We're now going to just simply march opposite sides, just to activate our center of balance. Also, we're going to do some diagonal movements later on, just to sort of get the brain to get used to it. So it's opposites, please. Swing the other arm back as though you're marching like a soldier. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. You're now going to widen your legs a little bit. You're going to take that down into a squat, nice and deep, or as deep as you can, and then come up. And then raise off your heels, nice and far up. Good. We're going to now count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring it down. Good. Do that one more time. Take it down. Come on up. Raise off the heels. Let's count to 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now we're going to do something very similar, but this time we're not going to lengthen our knees. You're going to come down into your squat. You come halfway up. My knees are bent. I'm raising off my heels. I'm staying down here as upright as possible. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down, lengthen your knees. Let's do that again. So take it down, nice and deep. Come halfway up, bring the arms out and lift your heels up. So make sure your knees are bent for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring it up. So that activates both of your calf muscles, the one at the top and the one further down. I'm going to step right to one side of my mat. I'm now going to come into a squat. Now you make sure you come into a deeper squat if you can, and then you're going to start crab walking. So walk to the side. Good. Once you're on the side, you walk backwards as far as you can go. Obviously the room will limit how far you can go, and then bring it over to the other side. Good. And then bring it forward. Excellent. We're now going to bring the arms out. We're walking back again. Nice and deep, please. Over to the side. Keep it low as you can. Good. Back to the front. Perfect. And then over to the side once more. If you can make it bigger because you've got more room, then go for it. And stop. And come up. Well done. Good. I'm going to stand sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Arms are coming forward. Leg goes back. I'm standing on one leg. I'm turning my foot outwards. So the toe is facing outward, heel is facing inwards. And I'm just lifting and lowering that leg. I'm leaning forward a little bit. And I'm feeling how my bum cheek engages into this. The standing leg engages as well. Keep pulling your tummy in. Try to keep your hips facing forward. Hips are facing forward. Good. And really try to actively work into your bum cheek here. Make sure you're breathing. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring those arms down. Perfect. Leg change over to the other side. Leg back, heel inward, toe out, and off you go. Raise and lower through that leg. Really clenching the bum cheek and pull the tummy in. Keep the hips facing forward. Pull the shoulders back. Don't bend your knees. Some of you are bending the knees. I've got my leg as straight as I can get it. So keep that leg straight. I'm not working on height here. I'm working on leg length and really trying to activate the correct muscles. So really thinking, oh, come on, clench that bum cheek. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring it down. Perfect. Right, grab your hand weights. Some of you might not have hand weights. So as I said before, you can use a couple of shampoo bottles, a couple of water bottles, whatever you have on hand. Good. Turn your palms forward. Good. And now you're just going to give me some bicep curls. Pull that tummy in. I want these hand weights to be fairly light. So if you've got, some of us have, due to COVID, have bought our own hand weights. So I know that some of you are working with the whole array of different weights. So go pick a light hand weight because we're going to do quite a lot of these. So if you're going for a heavier hand weight, you might need to just loose the hand weight halfway through. Depending how you feel, you might be super strong and it won't be a problem. But make sure you can do all of these exercises with good form. You're now going to turn your hands inwards. The palms are pointing towards your thighs. And you're going to breathe out a lift, just underneath the shoulder joints. Make sure that you're pulling your tummy in. Breathe out, breathe in. So whenever you work against gravity, you want to breathe out. So it's that lift you want to breathe out into and breathe out. Take it down. Good, keep going. Yeah, nice and controlled, looking good. One more, perfect. You're now going to lift one arm forward, one arm backwards, and then go the other way. One arm forward, one arm backwards. Make sure I don't see your shoulders rise up. So just gently pull your shoulders back and down. Look straight at the horizon. Lift your breastbone up. Feel how you're gently tucking your tail between your legs, how you're pulling your belly in. You breathe out on the way up. You breathe in on the way down. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. You're now going to lift the elbows up and bring them back down again. Lift the elbows up and bring them down. Good. You're now going to lift the elbows up, hold. You're now going to lean forward gently, and now you're going to kick back with those arms. So the little fingers are leading back. Draw your belly in. Make sure the upper body is nicely lengthened. You tuck your tail between your legs. You lift your breastbone up. You kick back. Breathe out as you lengthen. Breathe out. Good. Keep going. All the while, yes, we're working the triceps, but all the while thinking about your posture. Lengthening, making sure we're not arching the upper back, lifting that breastbone up and forward. Feeling how you're pulling the tummy towards your spine. 4, 3, 2, you've got one more, and 1. Good, bring the arms to your side and stand tall. Next one up, you're raising the arms up to a diagonal position. Good, from here, you exhale to pull the shoulder blades together. Make sure the elbows don't drop. And exhale, pull back. Inhale, bring it forward. Think about what I said earlier about the weight of your hand weights. So you can also loose them for some of these motions and then pick them back up when you can. Good, what I want you to feel here is that muscle between the shoulder blade. So again, if the hand weights are too heavy, you then lose that connection between the shoulder blades and you only feel it in your shoulders. I want that clench between the shoulder blades. We're now going to pulse. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back forward. Inhale. Breathe out. And 3, 2, 1. Reach them forward. Go again. And 3, 2, 1. Reach forward. And again. 3, 2, 1. Really feel that postural muscle between your shoulder blades. And keep going. You've got 3, 2, 1. And lengthen. 2 more. 3, 2, 1. Last one. And 3, 2, 1. Bring the arms to your side. Give me a couple of shoulder rolls. Last but not least, you're going to open up your fingers, so don't clench to your hand weights anymore. And you balance your hand weights as though you're holding a plate filled with roast dinner that has got gravy on. So make sure you're not dipping the gravy out. So keep your hands flat. You're now going to pull the thumbs backwards. Breathe out. And breathe in again. So the muscle you earlier tried to squeeze in the previous exercise between the shoulder blades, see if you can find a similar sensation between the shoulder blades now. So breathe out, breathe in. If you've got a rotator cuff issue, be careful with this one. Only do as many as you think you should be doing. Listen to your bodies. Breathe out, breathe in. So it's that backward rotation that you need to move into. So move to the point where it gets tight. So don't return before you haven't felt that clench between the shoulder blades and the top of your shoulders. Good. I'm just going to turn sideways. You see where my hands are in relation to my elbows. And I've got my palms facing upwards for the time being. You've got one more. You've got the last one now. Good. Now you're going to turn the palms downwards. Perfect. Clench the elbows towards you and pull back through the little fingers. So this should feel slightly different. Clench those arms towards your torso. So imagine you're holding a wad of newspapers underneath your armpits and you really can't loose those newspapers. So really press down with your armpits. Keep breathing. And make sure you move the tip of your shoulders back. Nice. Keep going. You've got 5 more. 4. Don't rotate the palms up. Keep the palms down at all times. Palms down. I can see some of you are rotating. No rotation. That's it. Keep going. Now I lost count. You got 2 more. Last one. Hold it. Give me little pulses here. Tiny little pulses. Good. Lift your breastbone up again. Tuck your tail between your legs again. You should feel a little burn now between those shoulder blades. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Good job. Big shoulder rolls. Widen your legs a little bit. Pull the shoulders back and down. Draw the belly button in and give me side extensions. Don't think about bringing the hand close to the floor. Think about lengthening and opening up the hip you're leaning away from. So really important that you find that spinal length. Breathe out, and then in at the top. Breathe out in the full length of that movement. Breathe in, breathe out, and breathe in. Good. Now listen, if you're working with fairly heavy hand weights and maybe you've got a bit of a sore shoulder, then just keep going with this. But now if you can, we're going to lift the hand weight above and over. Feel the stretch. Pull it back down again. Bring it over to the other side. Keep the hand in line with your ear. Really open up the waist. Feel the stretch. If you find that your shoulder is pinching anywhere, then do it without the hand weights. And over the midline, reach across. Good job. One more on each side. And take it across. And bring it down. A last one. Take it across. And bring it down. Perfect. Good. You're now going to hold both hand weights with one hand. Oh, sorry, both hand weights with both hands. If it's awkward to do, you can use no hand weights or just the one. Good. I'm going to turn sideways for a moment. You're going to start off by giving me mini squats and back up again. Mini squat and back up. Now, for the time being, I'm just relaxing my shoulders. But I have to lift my breastbone up so my upper body doesn't curl forward. Let me turn forwards again. So it's a mini squat and my feet are about as wide as my shoulders. Good. We're now going to do another mini squat and we're going to hold it in the mini squat. We're going to pull the hand weights over to our thigh. With that rotation comes the rotation through the breastbone. Then you take a deep breath in here. And then you exhale to lift the hand weights up. And it's as though you're throwing the hand weights over your shoulder, back into the mini squat. Exhale, find rotation. Make sure, particularly with osteoporosis, that you're keeping that spine long. So you don't want to lean forward into this, creating a curve in your back. You want to find rotation with a perfectly long spine. Breathe out. And again. Good. So if you want to make it a little bit harder, of course, what you can do, you can bend your knees a little bit more. Just make sure you stay straight through that spine. You've got one more. Breathe out, pull the tummy in, and come back down into your mini squat. Now change thighs, and breathe out, lift it over the top. Good. You bend your knees a little bit more if you've got the strength to go with it. And rotate. Pull that tummy in tightly. Breathe out as you pull across and really find a long spine, a really long spine. You've got 3 more. 2. You've got 1 more. And breathe out. Perfect. Good. Let's go onto the floor next. So get ready. Drop your hand weights next to your mat. Once, if you're on the floor before me, please go onto all fours and give me a cat-cow. A nice cat-cow, extending and bending through your spine. Make sure you don't hold your breath. Tucking that tail in. Good, and really feel that curve that you're creating in your cats tonight, because we're going to use that in a moment. So really feel how you're tucking the tail between your legs, how you're pulling the chin towards your chest. And then come to neutral. You're now going to lengthen one leg back and place the big toe on the floor, and you're going to bring the little finger forward of your hand. Good, that's your starting and your finishing position. You're going to exhale to lift both arms and leg. Good, and then bring it down again. And this is your level 1. Breathe out, breathe in. But if you can do more, breathe out, hold. You're now going to pull the knee and the elbow towards you. You're arching your back. Then you're going to extend again. And then you bring the knee and the little finger back down. So let's do it again. And lift, inhale. Exhale, arch, pull it in. Try to not wobble or fall over. Extend and bring both hands and knee down. Let's do the other side. Bring the knee back, bring the finger forward. Exhale up. Inhale down, that's your level 1. For a level 2, you lift, you then pull everything in, arch your back, as little wobbling as you can, bring it back into a lengthening position and down. Swap over sides, extend first, then exhale to lift, then pull it in on the next exhale. On the inhale, you lengthen, on the exhale, you bring it down, and again, extend, inhale. Exhale to lift, inhale to pull it up, exhale to lengthen, and down. One more time on each side. Keep that spinal length going. Exhale to lift, inhale to pull and arch, exhale to extend, inhale, bring it down. You've got one more set on the other side. Extend, exhale to lift, pull it in, arch your back. Oh, a big wobble from me, and extend and bring it down. Perfect. And now bring that into a child's pose. Pull as far back as you feel comfortable. So I can't pull much further back than this, but if you can touch your bum cheeks to your heels, then please go for it. Keep your arms nice and long, breastbone is nice and close to the floor. You keep breathing for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Come onto your backs. You're going to need space behind you. You're going to need your hand weights. I just need to measure myself quickly. So I'm just stretching out like this, so I know I have enough space to drop my arms. Let's come a little bit further forward. And I've always got as well got enough space that way. You can't see my toes anymore, but we all know that they're there. Good. Grab your hand weights and place them next to you on the floor so you can grab them as soon as you need them. You're now going to give me pelvic tilts. Breathe out to pull your lower back gently onto the floor, and then breathe in to bring it back into neutral. Making sure that we feel how our hip bones pull towards us, how our belly button disappears downwards, and how you're lifting your pelvic floor up. There shouldn't be any bum cheek clenching going on at this point. No bum cheek clenching. Breathe out. And breathe in. Good. I'm going to introduce level 1. You're now going to imprint your lower back. So the lower back sits flat on the floor. You're going to grab your hand weights and bring them above your shoulders. Good. Obviously, if you don't want to use hand weights, you don't have to. You're now going to turn the hand weights so that the thumbs are facing towards your forehead. Pull the shoulders back and down, and then you're going to inhale to drop the hand weight down, exhale to lift it up. Try to bring the arm as low down as you can without actually weight bearing onto the floor. So you just want a little tap there. Good. If you find that your shoulders are catching somewhere, then try to reduce the range of movement, or indeed don't use hand weights. Also play around with the width of your hands. You might need to just widen your arms a little bit. They might just be a little bit too narrow. So see what you need to do in order to get the biggest range of movement. Good. You inhale to go down. You exhale to come up. And just make sure that you're not lifting your lower back, your mid back, your ribs off the mat. Keep that all down, please. Really using that core. Okay, so that's your level 1. Very happy to carry on with this. For a level 2, you lift both legs into tabletop and you carry on with the same exercise. So this makes it a little bit harder. It destabilizes everything. Plus, if the knees are directly over the top of your hips, you have to engage your core a little bit more in order to keep that lower back nice and close to the floor. So the core engagement is that belly pulling in, the pelvic floor lifting, and the tilting from the hips to the rib cage and rib cage to hips. If you want to make it harder from here, you diagonally drop the big toe onto the floor as you drop the arm. So you inhale to drop both hands and big toe, exhale to come up. If you want to make it harder from here, you're going to extend the leg forward. So perfectly straight leg forward, bring it back up. If you do a straight leg, you would be touching the heel onto the floor rather than the toe. I can only do a straight leg on my good knee. I have to have a bent knee on the other side. So that's why I'm doing one bent knee and one long leg. See what you need to do in order to accommodate any injuries or issues. So diagonal we're going at the moment. You're now going to go unilateral. So you're going to do the right side and then you're going to do the left side. Inhale to go down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to take it down. Exhale to lift. Good. So the same side is moving at the moment. We're going back to diagonal, please. Back to diagonal next. Back to diagonal. Communicate with your brain. Back to diagonal. Good. From diagonal, we're going to drop one leg and both arms. So this is a little bit harder than the one-armed version for the core to keep those knees in place. Keep breathing. We're going to do 4 more of these. And 3. And 2. And a last one, please. Good. Lift the arms up. Bring both of your feet onto the floor. Good. You're now going to drop your hand weights towards the floor with the palms facing up to the ceiling. And then hold the hand weights nice and low. Make sure they're not touching the mat. Good. And now you're going to give me little pulses here. Tiny little pulses, making sure that the lower back, the mid back, the rib cage is not lifting away from the mat. Good. You might feel a little bit of an engagement and a stretch depending on the weight of your hand weights, but make sure you're not working your shoulders into any pain. Keep it nice and steady. You might need to have a break. Keep breathing. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lift those hand weights back up. Good. Place them by your side. We're going to go into a twist. Bring the arms out to the side. Super glue your knees and thighs together and go from side to side. So look away from your knees. Back to the center, over to the other side. Find the stretch. Try to keep your shoulders on the floor and lengthen your fingertips away from your knees. That will give you a lovely chest stretch. You're going to do one more in a twist. Bring it back to the center. You're now going to place your feet wider than your mat. So your feet are not on the mat anymore. Your feet are wider than the mat. And then you do the same thing. You twist your knees to the side. You look over your shoulder, away from those knees. You pull your tummy in. You go over to the other side. Lengthen the fingertips away. Yeah, this should feel slightly different. This should feel more sort of hippie, front of the hip, less lower back. The more you pull your knee towards the floor, the deeper the stretch will be felt. And the more you lengthen that knee away from you, the deeper the stretch. Don't rush anything, so you're not going frantically from side to side. Take it nice and steady. One more on each side. And then we're going to do quite a challenging exercise that I need to split up into osteoporosis and non-osteoporosis because we're going to be lifting our head off the floor. And we're going to use the non-lifted version for a little warm-up. So hands are by your side. And you're going to give me lovely pelvic tilts again. But this time, you're going to curl the bum cheek up a little bit higher so that you keep the ribs on the floor, but you lift the weight of your bum cheeks off. So it's not a bridge, not at all. It's much smaller than a bridge. And what I really want you to feel is your lower abdominal muscles. So I really want you to focus at pulling your hip, the two hip bones, towards your rib cage and up. So you're really using the lower abdominal muscles, the muscles that sit between the belly button and your genitals. And can I ask everybody with osteoporosis, or if you don't want to lift your head up, to do this one? And also, if you find that the one that we are going to do is too much for you, go back to this one, please. So osteoporosis, keep going with that one. Everybody else, interlace your hands behind your head, and then just lift the head off the floor, pull your rib cage to the pubic bone to rib cage, and bring it back down again. So you're activating the full length of your abdominal muscles. They go from the breastbone all the way into your pubic bone. Good. And then you're going to hold that lift for me. Hold that lift. You're going to pull both of your knees nice and close to your chest. Bring your feet together and just give me an elegant toe. Good. And now set your head back down. You're going to take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to pull those legs forwards, and you're going to stop as soon as you feel your lower back raising away from the floor, and then pull it back in again. So an easier option would just be to the hips and back again. But if you can do more, what I'd like to see is you coming forward with those legs, lengthen the legs, lift the head up nice and high, press that lower back into the floor, and then pull it back towards you. The movement needs to be fast enough so you can breathe out in the full length of the movement. Okay, so you still need to be breathing out as the legs pull towards you. So breathe out, 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 breathe in. Breathe out, 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 breathe in. Good, let's do 5 more. Be careful with this one. If the lower back lifts, you have gone too far, and you need to bring the legs less far forward. If the neck starts to hurt, have a rest, maybe fall back to that first exercise that I've given you. Pull everything in, feel the burn in your stomach muscles. You've got 1 more inhale. And exhale, reach forward. And bring it back again. And then hold on behind your thighs, everybody. And just give me a little massage here. A little massage, round and round. Good, and then we're going to turn on our sides. We're going to grab the block. We're going to go into rotation. We're going to be using our hand weight for this tonight. So it's the open book like we've done together before. You have to make sure, first of all, that both of your shoulders are stacked properly. So the bottom shoulder is directly underneath the top one, so that the rib cage and the waist is lifted. Place the hand weight ready to go, but don't use it to start off with. Make sure all 10 fingertips are the same length. Then you're going to open up and you're going to find that rotation. Don't forget, you're not rotating and feeling a chest stretch. You're rotating through the armpit. So you want to pull the armpit back. You want to twist out your torso. Twist the torso out. Good. If you've got a very tight back, then please allow the hips to move a little bit. Also with osteoporosis, allow the hips to move a little bit. However, if you've got nice, healthy backs, keep the hips, excuse me, keep the hips facing forward. And now I've also grabbed my hand weight. Make sure it's not too heavy, the hand weight, because as soon as you go past your shoulder with that hand weight, the hand weight really becomes quite heavy, because then you have to work against gravity. Feel the twist. Good. Keep both of your knees on the mat, please. Both of your knees are on the mat. Feel that twist. And back again. Good. Breath-wise, you exhale. Inhale at the back. You should, and then you exhale to come forward. You should always be able to see your hand weight clearly. Find that rotation. And bring it back again. Good. You've got 1 more. Find that rotation. And bring it back again. Good. Loose the hand weight. turn onto your chest. And place your hands underneath the forehead. Widen the elbows. Draw the belly button away from the floor. Turn your heels inwards. We're going into single leg extensions, making sure we pull our shoulders down. And the aim is to lift the kneecap and the big toe off. The aim is not to lift the hip up. So the hip needs to stay super glued on the floor. In fact, you're pressing the hip bones into the mat. You're tucking the tail between your legs. You breathe out to gently lift with length and bring it back down again. And this is your level 1. Very happy for you to stay with this. For a level 2, you extend both of these legs. If you have some of your pubic bones might not like that double leg lift because it's too much pressure into the pubic bone. If you've got a pubic bone like that, just go back to single leg extensions rather than pressing too hard into the floor with the pubic bone because that can be quite painful. Good. Now bring the arms to your side. So they're in a surrender position. The head is now not supported anymore. So you're lifting the back of the head up. The nose is floating over the floor. The elbows are just about in line with your shoulders. And the legs are still going up and down. They haven't stopped extending. With each breath, I extend those legs. Good. You can stay with this if you want, but if you want to make it a little bit harder, you're now going to extend both legs and you're going to lift the arms up at the same time. Inhale, bring it back down again. Forearms, hands, back of the head. You're finding lightness in your breastbone as you do this. With length, please grow in length. So don't think about having to bend your body like a banana. You want to lengthen the body. I don't really want any bending as such. I want you to lengthen. Really feel that length in your neck as well. Do make sure you pull your tummy in, you tuck your tail between your legs. You got 2 more. Lengthen. And then you do 1 more for me, please. And lengthen. And relax. Perfect. Hands to your side. Come on up onto your knees. And give me another cat-cow here to release the spine. Just a quick release here. Couple more. And that should do the trick nicely. Fantastic. Good. Let's do the rotation over on the other side. So I'm going to take my block. I'm going to take my hand weights. I'm going over to the other side. So really tidy rotations again. And again, don't start with your hand weight. Keep the hand weight where it is for the time being. Push the block back. Really important is that both shoulders are stacked in the correct place. So make sure that the bottom shoulder is not sticking up to your ear. The bottom shoulder pulls down your back. So it's directly underneath the top one. Inhale, and then you start your exhale without hand weights to start off with, please. Good. Okay, so this, I can really feel this is a much, much tighter side. Find length in your spine. If you've got osteoporosis, allow a little bit of movement through those hips. But never let go of the floor contact with your thighs, so you let go of the top hip bone. So you just pull the top hip bone back a little bit. If you've got nice, healthy spines, please keep the hips facing forward. Good. If you're happy and everything is going well, then you grab your hand weight and you start working with the hand weight. But make sure you can't feel any chest stretch. So I don't want any chest stretch. I just want that rotation, that wringing out sensation. Make sure the waist is lifted. Make sure the rib cage is lifted. Strong breathing pattern. And again, breathe out. Breathe in. Perfect. 2 more, please. Maybe increase that range of motion a little bit. Good, and last one. And lift up, breathe out. And bring it back forward. Perfect. Good, we've got time for 1 more stretch. I'm sorry, I said to you to bring your stretch band. Well, we're actually not got enough time to use the stretch band tonight because today I'd like you to do a hip stretch. So what I need you to do, I need you to kneel
on your mat, and I'm kneeling facing you with the mat lengthwise, because that's quite easy to explain what you need to do. So my knees are in the center of my mat, and I'm going to take one leg and I bring it forward and to the side. So if you've got really tight hips, you want to have that big toe overlapping here, the front of your mat. If you've got quite open hip, if you're quite flexible, I'd like you to bring this foot in line with the knee, so the toe faces the same direction, that way. Good, and then you're going to be nice and tall and turn your hips back to the front. Pull this knee to the back wall, so you're really opening up through there. So that's the position. If you're really tight, this might be enough. But if you can, you're now going to place one hand onto your thigh and just slide down into that stretch and try to open up the groin. I can feel the top of my hamstring here, and I'm still really trying to bring that knee backwards and push it back again. So feel all the stretches around the groin, inner thighs. Bring it in and push it back. Good. You're now going to use the arm that's connected to the kneeling knee. You're going to bring that up and you're going to do a little side stretch at the same time. And bring it down again. Inhale. And go again. Open up into that groin. Breathe out. And in. So if you don't feel anything groin area wise, you need to push your knee further back and you need to bring the leg more in line with your knee. You're going to do one more. Inhale. And exhale, lean and hold. Feel that stretch in your waist, in your groin. And pull it back again. Good. Let's try the other side. So knees are in the center. Bring the foot forward. Big toe is overlapping if you find that you're quite tight. Foot is in line with the knee, so the foot is in the center of your mat, facing the end of the mat, so it's not at an angle. Good. And then turn your hips forward to truly open up. This knee here, you need to bring this backwards in order to get the biggest range. Good. You're now going to lean over. You can lean onto your thigh and back again. Good. I really have to make sure I don't rotate here. This is much tighter on this side. Good. Lean into it and back again. Play around with it. If you're not quite feeling everything that I'm explaining here, maybe bring that leg over a little bit more. Rotate the hips a little bit more. We're going to take the arm that's connected to the kneeling leg. We're going to bring this over the midline. Pull that knee back and back again. Inhale. And exhale. Draw that belly in. Find that arch. And back again. Good. 2 more times. And lean into it. Breathe out. And breathe in. You've got 1 more to go. And bring it across, lean into it, and pull it back. Fantastic. Good. We still got a little bit of time, which is fantastic. So 1 more stretch. Bring your legs forward. You're now going to grab your bands. Grab your bands. There you go. We did use them after all. And you're going to wrap them just around your feet. And then you're going to hold the band fairly tightly. So if you find in this position you can't physically bring the kneecaps or the back of the knee all the way onto the floor, you might need to sit on something like a block or a cushion. Good, but so the aim first of all is to sit tall with your back of the knees pressed downwards. And then you're going to lean forward to find a deeper stretch through the back line of your legs. Good, now try to flex your toes towards you and feel how that deepens the stretch. Hold it there. Good, and then we're going to sit tall again, lengthen your arms. Inhale and exhale, go again. Pull yourself forward, press the back of your knees onto the mat. Pull the elbows back, flex your toes. Make sure it doesn't take your breath away. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. And lengthen it again. Lengthen those arms. Inhale. And exhale. Lean forward. From the hips forward, please, with a nice straight back. Press those knees down. That makes such a huge difference to your stretch. Pull your big toes forward. 2, 3, 2, 1. Sit tall again. All right, we're going to do it 1 last time. See if you can get a little bit more depth now. Inhale. And exhale. Lean forward. Press those knees down. Flex your toes. 3, 2, and 1. And sit nice and tall. Then release the band. And well done. That concludes our session today.
Let me come forward and turn off the recording. So thank you for the ones that watched this retrospectively. Bye-bye.